America. And this is a question I want you to ask yourself. Did he keep his promise? There's really only one thing that we have that will save us, and that is honor, the truth. The truth shall set you free. That's what I think people were looking for when they said they wanted change in Washington. They wanted somebody just to tell them the truth. Well, let's look at some of these things. First, the American people have said no to health care. Even the people in Massachusetts that have this kind of health care say it doesn't work. Well, Obama said again yesterday that he's going to try to push health care through anyway. Why? Well, it's the progressive mentality, and we're going to get into a little bit of that maybe hopefully tomorrow. But part of that is that they can gain the power they need to control every aspect of your life. They are now controlling the message. I want to ask you, did he keep his promise? Look at the message that he has been giving us. This was critical to so many people. What was the message that he has been giving us on health care in the past? Watch.
If you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor, period. If you've got health insurance, you like your doctor, you like your plan, you can keep your doctor, you can keep your plan.
No matter what you've heard, if you like your doctor or health care plan, you can keep it. Under the reform we seek, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor.
Got it. Okay. You know, that last second before last one, he said, no matter what you've heard, he was really referring to people like me. Because at that time, they were calling us liars. Oh, that's not in there. Of course, you're going to be able to, oh, stop the fear-mongering. I want you to listen carefully to what he said just a couple of days ago. Listen carefully.
You know, we said from the start that it was going to be important for us to be consistent in saying to people, if you can have if you want to keep the health insurance you got, you can keep it. That you're not going to have anybody getting in between you and your doctor in your decision making. And I think that some of the provisions that got snuck in might have violated that pledge.
Wow. I mean, we could do an hour just on this. Tonight, I want you to just carefully focus in on what he was saying. It's not just a broken promise. Look at this. I want to show you the full quote here. We said from the start, now listen, this is a guy who's just been, somebody snuck in that you're not going to be able to get your doctor. And he promised you, don't listen to those crazy people, you're going to do it. This is his response. We said from the start that it was going to be important for us to be consistent in saying to people that you can have it if you want to keep your health insurance you got, you can keep it. You're not going to have anybody getting in between you and your doctor decision making. You got it? This wasn't just a broken promise. It was a careful unveiling of the truth. We have said from the start that it was going to be important for us to say. This is a glimpse to their inside conversations. And let me ask you this. When you get down to this line, and I think some of the provisions that got snuck in might have violated that pledge. We're not talking about a little pledge. We're talking about you being able to keep your doctor. You decide. Did he keep his promise? Keep your doctor. He just said no. If that would have passed, you would have lost your doctor. Gitmo. Did he do that?
We then provide the process whereby Guantanamo will be closed no later than 1 year from now.
Still open. That turned into a debacle. Barack Obama wasn't going to conduct business the way George W. Bush did. He made that promise. Watch this.
He's been saying, well, I can basically change what Congress passed by attaching a letter saying, I don't agree with this part or I don't agree with that part. I'm going to choose to interpret it this way or that way. That's not part of his power. But
he's right.
This is part of the whole theory of George Bush, that he can make laws as he's going along.
He's right.
I disagree with that.
He's right.
I've taught the Constitution for 10 years. I believe in the Constitution, and I will obey the Constitution of the United States. We're not going to use signing statements as a way of doing an end run around Congress.
Got it? No signing statements. Here's a constitutional lawyer. He's very clear here. I taught the Constitution. He's right about George W. Bush. It's not within his power. Shouldn't be done. Progressives do that. Well, you didn't like it and I didn't like it. No signing statements. What happened? What happened to the I will obey the Constitution and we're not going to use signing statements? Why would he violate his word so quickly? Because, as Saul Alinsky said, The ends justify the means. It doesn't matter. Just get it done. Watch this. See if you recognize. I'm just compare and contrast here. Here's FDR, another huge progressive, 1933.
If we cannot do this one way, we will do it another. But do it, we will.
Got it? Can't do it the one way? We'll do it another, but we're going to do it. Watch this from the State of the Union, just what was it, last week?
That's why I've called for a bipartisan fiscal commission. Yesterday, the Senate blocked a bill that would have created this commission. So I'll issue an executive order that will allow us to go forward, because I refuse to pass this problem on to another generation of Americans.
But do it, we will. Finally, there's Pelosi on this case. The American people have made it clear we don't want health care. But do it, we will. What has she just said?
We go through the gate. If the gate's closed, we'll go over the fence. The fence is too high. We'll pole vault in. If that doesn't work, we'll parachute in. But we're going to get health care reform passed for the American people, for their own personal health and economic security.
Whatever. What happened to the Constitution? After opposing the Bush surveillance programs, he retained them. The Bush tribunal system for detainees, he preserved it. I don't even have these on the board. Not long ago, after violating his no lobbyists working in the White House pledge, this one killed me, no lobbyists working there. He brought, how many did we count the other day? 30? He had the audacity to bring up the lobbyist thing in the State of the Union.
That's why we've excluded lobbyists from policy-making jobs or seats on federal boards and commissions.
He's got 30 in his administration. Now, we just showed you some of these lobbyists the other day. I don't know if we have pictures of them. Yeah, here, this is me showing them. Okay? He repeated after this the non-existent fantasy figure of 2 million jobs created or saved. This was during the address again. Then he went further, saying that he was on track for another $1.5 million this, or 1.5 million jobs this year. First of all, understand this. Look it up. There is no metric measuring any kind of statistic like that. There's no measurement. Now, his own website claims that there were 650,000 jobs. Here it is, 650,000 jobs created or saved. Valerie Jarrett said thousands and thousands. It wouldn't be a surprise to me if I hear Robert Gibbs today say, oh, billions of jobs have been created. It's a game. That goes really to the openness and transparency, the game. I mean, how are we supposed to, wouldn't it be nice, how refreshing it would be to actually get a glimpse into how our government solves problems or writes bills? At least 8 times he said that C-SPAN would broadcast the proceedings of congressional negotiations with health care. None of them have occurred. None of it. It's been closed-door, backroom, bribing process from the beginning. You know it and I know it. When running for office, this man pledged that he would end, and I looked at this tape today, I couldn't believe he actually said this, but he did. He said that he would end the war in Iraq by last year. Watch this.
So we have to begin a phased withdrawal, have our combat troops out by March 31st of next year.
But I want to make sure that we get all our combat troops out as quickly as we can safely. Now, the estimates are maybe that's 2 brigades per month. At that pace, it would be sometime in 2009.
I opposed this war in 2002. I will bring this war to an end in 2009. It is time to bring our troops home.
I think it's 2010 and they're still there. When he announced the spending freeze at the State of the Union, there was an audible gasp, mocking from Congress. I've never seen anything like it. The AP now has pointed out that it will save less than 1% of the predicted deficits over the next 10 years. Let me show you this. We try to make this demonstration with water bottles. Here and underneath the table are 100 water bottles. The estimated savings on the deficit over the next 10 years is this much water. Refreshing, isn't it? They're lying to you. Democrats, please, we're running out of time here.